So let's look at these assignments that we have. So 1049A, I'm asking you to create individual working drawings of each of the 5 parts. Okay, and I want you to use simplified thread representations. So I want you to use the symbols for the threads. So there are 5 parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And I want you to just do a single drawing on each part. If we look at this first part, which is part 1, the movable jaw. Okay. So the movable jaw has 2 holes that are M8. What does that mean? When you see M8, what does that mean?
Metric screw, it's got a nominal diameter of 8.
That's right. This is a threaded hole, right? So you need to make sure that your drawing uses those threaded hole symbols, which when you're looking at the hole straight on, you're going to see a solid circle and you're going to see a hidden line circle around that hole. And that tells us everybody in the world that that's a threaded hole. And Tristan's going to remember to put a center mark in that hole, every one of them, every time. So it looks like that, right? And when I look at this hole from the side, I'm going to see a hidden line for the major diameter. I'm going to see a hidden line for the minor diameter. So there's going to be a pair of hidden lines in there. And Tristan's going to remember to put a center line through that axis of that hole. So is everybody else. Not just Tristan, everybody. Does that make sense? So you have to, and here's one where Inventor is going to take a lot of work out of this for you. Okay. Hopefully everybody's got their Inventor. Anybody not got their Inventor legs under them good yet? Do this in Inventor, okay? Do this in Inventor. Use the hole tool to make these threaded holes. You should not extrude cut circles, okay? So put that hole in there. So this part 2, the stationary jaw, is the exact same size and shape as the first one, right? So maybe do that one, save it as a different name, and then come back and put these different holes in it, right? Instead of having to redo the whole thing. You can redo the whole thing. It'll go faster the second time, but it's the same thing. You need a different hole here. This one's not an M8, and it's not at the same spot. This one's an M3, and the threads are 8 deep, so that minor diameter's got to go deeper than 8. So when I see that one in the side, I'm going to see the drill point. So it needs to have a drill point. And then I'm going to see the threads going down that 8 deep. And Tristan's going to remember to put that center line in this one too. All right, it's going to look something like that. My sketch isn't great, but hopefully you get the idea. It's a blind hole. It's not going all the way through, right? So we're going to have this drill point on it. This hole back here is also a blind hole. Is it threaded? No. How do I know it's not threaded? Doesn't say M nothing, right? So if it doesn't say M nothing, it's just a plain old hole. It is a blind hole. So the only way you can make a blind hole is with a drill. So it's going to have a drill point on it, right? So when I look at it from the side, it's going to come in here. That's a terrible sketch, but it's going to have a drill point on it, right? And Tristan's going to put the center line through there. So is everybody else. Like that, right? What about this hole right here? Through. And it's not threaded, right? You can extrude cut circle right there all the way through if you want to. I don't care. You can use the hole tool and go all the way through too. You can extrude cut circle. I don't care. Whatever makes you happy. A lot of people get crossed up on this part right here. This distance 60 from this end is threaded, M8, right? And it doesn't tell you the pitch, so you're going to use which one? The lowest number, the coarsest thread pitch. Okay. A lot of people have trouble with this and this. What's happening there? If I look at this from the side, I'm just going to draw this part right here. So I've got a little area here that necks down. Looking at it straight from the side, looks kind of like this. And then we got a hole right here. And Tristan's going to put a center mark in that hole every time. All right. So what's happening with this note right here? This has a diameter of 9. This is called an undercut note. So that little groove has a diameter of 9. And guess what? How wide is it this way? Yeah, I think I got my red over it, but it's 1.6. Oh, I lost my whole thing. But yeah, 1.6. All right. And then this is just a hole coming from the outside inward, right? If I get that part sketched back up here. Just a hole. Tristan's going to put a center mark in it. So is Cole. So is Matthew. So is Logan. So is Brianna. So this has a distance of 5, right? And this has a diameter of 5. What about all this crazy stuff right here in this note? What does that mean? Anybody know what that is? We haven't talked about it, so you
It's
might not, should know.
it's that diamond mark to get increased grip strength.
Yeah, it's usually a diamond cross pattern that's designed to give you a little thumb tension, a little friction for your thumb to turn it, right? So how do I do that in my software? I recommend you can make your model look like it's diamond knurled in the model, but that's really not what I'm after here. So I wouldn't even worry about trying to do that. What you need to do on the drawing is in this view, you want your view to be big enough for that you can do this, but you'll just make a little sketch in there, a little spline-like little crazy little sketch. Make sure it zigzags so you know it's a spline. And then put a net crosshatch in there. It looks like this. You may have to rotate it so it looks like it's on an angle. Just put a net crosshatch on it. Put you a leader note on there and put that knurl, whatever it says there, knurl P08. Just like that. You don't have to crosshatch the whole thing, just a little swatch inside there. And just for good measure, since it's over here on this side, you might do another one over here. Just a little swatch inside there, right? To show that that's knurled. And you'll give that same knurl note right there, just like they've done with the leader. That make sense? All right. So again, we got the same kind of thing happening here. This is a similar undercut like we just talked about. So that's the same thing happening between the threads and the head. So there's a little undercut right here. This one doesn't have a hole in it. You can do another swatch with a knurl on there. Put a little hatch in there. So you'll have to sketch on that drawing view to actually manually put that in there. Inventor won't do it for you. You'll have to do that. And this is that undercut, which has a diameter of 5 and a width of 1.5. What size should you model this? I would make it 8. Just model it diameter 8. When you go to the thread tool, you'll pick on that cylinder until it's an M8. If you make it much bigger or smaller than 8, it might not give you the M8 option of threads. So it's going to figure out how big it is and only allow you to pick what threads will fit on that size cylinder. So if you'll make that 8, you'll be in good shape. On this end of it, there's a little spot that doesn't have threads, right? So it comes down here and it's got a little spot, sticks out like that. It's got a little smaller diameter, right? And it's that long. Does that make sense? And that fits right in this hole right here. Just shoves down in that hole. Now, the last part I'll talk about is this little guy right here. This is sheet metal, and it's 1.52 thick. You might not have done sheet metal in Inventor yet, so you can model it, just make it 1.5 thick. One thing I want to talk about is how you make these bends look proper. So if you just sketched it like this, you could do that. So these inside bends right here, maybe that's got a radius of, I don't know, say 1 on these inside bends, right? The outside bend, if I want to keep that, maintain that same uniform thickness, how big is this radius got to be to keep this thickness the same? It's going to be whatever the original one was, 1 plus 1.52. So this one would be 2.52. And you may do that, and you may see that radius 1 is too big or something. You can go to 0.5. But the idea is that you're just going to add that whatever this inside radius is to the thickness to make that uniform. Later on, you'll actually just make this a sheet metal part, and Inventor will figure that out for you. One more part that you do not have to create a drawing for is this guy, and it doesn't really come into play on this assignment. So this part A assignment is just creating the drawings like you have always done for each of these parts. So there'll be 5 drawings assigned, 5 drawings submitted with this one assignment. But there's a screw. The screw really doesn't come into play with this assignment. So 1049A, just do all 5 drawings just like you've always done. So you'll do the isometric also. So it's free with Inventor, so it doesn't cost anything. If we go to the next assignment, which is part B, I'm going to have you do something else. I've actually given you that screw Inventor part right here. Y'all done assemblies yet in Inventor? Y'all started putting things together? Starting this week. Well, that's good timing. Maybe on Wednesday, if you can get these parts modeled by Wednesday, then I can help you show you how to put them together. But here's the screw that I was talking about. I don't expect you to do a drawing of the screw, but download the screw. And what I want you to do now is to put all these pieces together in Inventor and create an assembly drawing. So the assembly drawing of all these pieces together, I want to get a front view and a top view. I think I want an exploded isometric view. So you may not be there yet, and I'll help you in Inventor on Wednesday, but everybody's going to need to try to get all these parts made. If you can just make the parts and not do the drawings until we do that, that's fine too. If you can spend the time between now and Wednesday modeling the parts, we can put the parts together and then you can do all the drawings. So my advice would be model all these parts and then come back and do your individual drawings just like you've always done and have all the parts that we can work together on Wednesday. Yep.
When you say individual drawings, do you mean like each part on an individual sheet?
Yes, that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. So each
all
one of
right,
these
okay.
parts will have its own sheet of paper with the top, front, whatever views. You might need a left view, you might need a right view. You know, this one you're going to need, you're going to need a view from this way to see this hole, and you're going to need views from this way to see these holes, and you're going to need a side view, right? So you have to make those decisions. Anytime you have a hole, you need to look straight into that hole. So this one's, so you're going to have a left, a left, a front, and a right, and then isometric on this one. Probably don't need a top view. So you just make those decisions. Any questions? All right. Well, I burned about an hour. So you got an hour. If you got your Inventor legs under you, that's probably plenty of time to do most of these parts anyway. On Wednesday, hopefully we can start assembling this thing. I'll help you assemble it. I'll help you explode it. I'll help you put it on a drawing for an assembly. So do the very best you can to have these 5 parts modeled by Wednesday. Sound good? All right, then. Well, I'm going to get out of your screen and let you go to it.